Today is very significant for us because the theme of the World Investors Week is what? Sustainable finance, crypto, and digital finance. What is more apt in a time like this? When you speak about climate change and climate action, when you speak about degradation of our environment, when you speak about clean energy and the future around clean energy, what's more apt for you to understand around investment, diversifying your thoughts and changing the way you think about investing, creating impact investing avenues that indeed will cause you to know that you are part of the regeneration of the earth. As we speak now, the tornadoes are all over Florida. People are camping for a space to hide. Yet we are here. Of course, like we always will pray, it will not get to us. But clearly, it is getting to somebody. But if we do our investments around sustainable finance, impact investing, not really looking at the profits that we want to get, but looking at the impact that this will bring to the world, then we'll be doing service not only to ourselves, but to the world and the future generation. Yes, it is not all that. Today, every youth, most youths particularly, are involved in crypto transactions. Is it something that is risky? Certainly it is risky. Is it something that is profitable? Certainly it is profitable. Is it something we can manage? Yes, it is. Is it something we can avoid? I don't think so. And so it is important to let you know that as we go into such investments, we must weigh the risk and rewards. We must weigh the investment strategies. We must ask ourselves, do we have the heart to go into it? And do we have what it takes to manage the risk? And if we so do, then it's a new product line. And it's something that we must be very cautious about. As we encourage that to happen, we have moved beyond that, even to digital assets, wherein we speak to issues around tokenization, we speak to issues around crowdfunding, we speak to issues around different alternative assets that play even in this area. Now, life is much easier because we can reach far through our phones and other digital tools that will help us navigate the new streams of digital assets that are coming to fore in our investment climate. Time has passed where we only think about one product and consider our markets as being monoproduct markets. It's no more monoproduct. It is now multi-product. But it's important that as we navigate these new ways of understanding new asset classes, we must, as a point of necessity, embrace financial literacy and education.
And just to give a very quick color as to, at least at the holding company level, how we continue to think about this subject of retail investors. And the DG spoke about a revolution that's happening in the market around technology. And for us, it is something that we're very passionate about, where we're asking ourselves how we can support our subsidiary companies, our associate companies, and just use our convening power to bring this subject of technology to the table. And I think that if we go back maybe over the last 3-4 months or so in our capital markets, we see this revolution, frankly speaking. We've seen it now a lot in the primary market side of things. And there are two areas that we're spending a lot of time now to think about. One is, as the DG spoke, you would have seen that he was speaking about very different asset classes and how our market needs to go away from being seen as a mono asset class, equities, and being seen as a multi-asset class. And you can imagine that as the SEC continues this charge, we as market, sort of operators have this responsibility. So on our side, we constantly think through how to use technology to aggregate across all of these products and the likes. And then second of all is really, again, at the holding company level, the ability to just bring all of the players together to the table and to ensure that these conversations, get the, much needed airtime, as it were.
So the capital market can be broadly divided into primary market, secondary market. Primary market is where issuances occur, where like you're seeing some of the banks trying to raise capital. So that's really the primary market side of things. The secondary market is usually trading of those instruments that have been listed on exchange, which is all those asset classes I've spoken to. Those things are part of the things that you will be exposed to when you come to the Nigerian capital markets. Now, how do you build wealth for your generation and for the generation to come? Is by utilizing all those strategies I've spoken about. So equities, what are equities? Largely, they are fractional ownership of companies. So companies like you already know, GTB, Cadbury, Nigerian breweries. So you affords you the opportunity to own a part of that business by buying into it. And sometimes these companies issue shares, like the banks are doing now. Sometimes you have to go to the secondary market to be able to buy those companies. But it's important to own equities. Different reasons. I've talked about Owando in terms of capital gains. You get to enjoy capital gains. So you buy at 10 naira, it trades up to 70 something naira. Those are possibilities that occur in the Nigerian capital market. You also get dividends. These companies, some of them pay interim dividend, but some of them pay yearly dividends. And it's important to get dividend, especially as you grow older, so that you can have a steady cash flow. That's basically what it will provide. Shareholder rights, you attend their AGMs and you'll be able to vote at those AGMs. You also have the opportunity to participate in the rights issuance, supposing the bank or the company wants to then issue shares to existing shareholders, like we're seeing some of the banks are issuing shares by rights issues, so you can participate as a shareholder. Today on our market, we have 151 listed equities. The all-share index is up by 30.38% as at 9th of October. And that's very, very impressive if you think about where the inflation rate is. This is the overall cumulative return of the index. But some stocks within this space, like I mentioned, Owando, have done significantly much higher than what, excuse me, much higher than what we're seeing from the overall index.
And I'll be sharing from, a bit from my personal experiences and some of the things that we as investors need to know in terms of the risks and the rewards of investing. But on a lighter note, I qualified as a chartered accountant about 24 years ago, and my very first investment was in a Ponzi scheme. Yes, all of those bring 300,000, and in like 2 weeks, you're going to be getting like times 3. And the person that introduced me to that investment was also a chartered accountant. So both of us were, chartered accountants who were looking at investing and, getting rewards so quickly. But I must commend the work that SEC is doing, the NGX, over the years, because I think the awareness and the sensitization is paying off. If, a chartered accountant could invest in Ponzi scheme, and then what is it to teach the younger generation? But opportunities like this and all of the other things that have been done over the years, in my opinion, have, churned out more knowledgeable people, more aware people, and the work is fantastic.